GB Radio.
Inside Running brought to you by Winning Rupert, whose progeny continue to excel on the racetrack. To get that winning feeling, find Rupert at geiselpark.com.au.
Time for Inside Running. Chance of some showers less likely this afternoon. There is the possibility of a thunderstorm this morning or early afternoon with severe damaging winds. As we head to 17 degrees, we're currently sitting at 13.5 at the moment as we get the show underway. And welcome, Darren McAullay.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning to you. It might well be a case of almost swimming. After the rain of the last 24 hours, it certainly has come down in buckets, so much so that we are going to launch the day on a heavy 8 at Belmont Park, and there is a bit more rain, of course, to come through the course of the day, hopefully then clearing up later on for the final tonight with Fremantle up against the Gold Coast. Of course, today we see the running of the listed Farnley Stakes. It's the feature, and probably a race where most will be asking whether or not Fluoro Neuro, who carries the title of being WA's best-known bridesmaid, can finally crack it in one of these feature stakes races. Digby Beacham and Scotty Embry are with us. They're buckled up. They're ready to go, hopefully with an absolute sack full of winners there. Diggs, how does the day look for you?
Good morning, Darren, Scott, Maddie, listeners. Good to be here. Select little card, a few scratchings as well. So I think there's some nice horses sprinkled throughout this meeting, albeit there's probably not as much value in some of the races as you would like.
There's not much in the first, Scotty. Good morning to you. Rockfest, though, did create a huge impression on debut for the Pierce brothers. He'll go around at prohibitive odds in a very small field now with those scratchings in race 1.
Morning, boys. I think that race was always going to end up quite small. On Tuesday, it was extended noms in danger of deletion. Yep. So they managed to get it out to, say, 11 nominations at weights, but there were probably a lot of horses that were thrown in there that never really had any intention of being there. They were just going for a bit of a look. So it's down to a very small field, but it'll be interesting to see if Rockfest remains undefeated and wins again today, the way that they talk about him, because after that first up victory, Ben Pearce didn't exactly indicate what most people seem to think, and that he may be a Guineas horse. He sounded like they wanted to give him a couple of runs, get him out over a bit of ground, and then wait for the Derby. It'll be interesting to see if they've changed their tune, because what he produced on debut was so mighty impressive.
Ben is normally quite reserved when you speak with him, but there was something about the tone of his voice in that post-race interview which indicated to us there was a level of excitement.
I think it was about a 3-month period of I told you so's all coming through together.
Real confirmation of his opinion of the horse, wasn't it?
Sounded like doesn't matter who you were, he was happy to tip you into that horse. And they got the money on debut. He was really well sported. Unfortunately today they won't get to turn much of it over unless they're having a couple of short price multis.
Okay, well, he did create a massive impression, and Mortal Bliss has also created something of an impression, Diggs. It's making its WA debut, going for 3 straight this afternoon.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse. Very nice horse. We've seen him run some pretty good fractions, and he might have to do it from the rear today, but he looks like he's one of those horses who's capable of just going through his grades.
Yeah, and there's a good clash too in the third, Scotty. A bit of depth in that race, at least. There you see the return of My Hidden Universe up against deferred King Advisor. There's some meat on the bone in that race.
There is, and some speed on speed there with King Advisor and My Hidden Universe likely to really roll them along. And I tell you what will be difficult. Hopefully for the followers of Il Giro del Mondo, she can make it 3 in a row, but that's going to be a real slog.
Okay, well, the package has just made his way into the building, which is great to see there. Morning, Pedro. Clearly lost. And Diggs, the other one here too that caught the eye is the money that there has been for Great Emotion. They've launched $8 into $3.20.
Yeah, good go, isn't it? A really good go. It's not a bad little race, that one, but it's good to have Great Emotion back at the races and trot up okay. And look, again, we talk about horses who you think are going to make the grade and go through the grades. Great Emotion is one of those.
Okay, are you a Junction man, Scotty?
Always a Junction man.
Okay, we've got Junction Cup Day there, first 142.
Been extremely wet up there in the Gascoyne, so that might throw a curveball in there, but more often than not, I'm team back Ash Maley until proven otherwise.
Okay, yeah, he's got a very strong hand in the Junction Cup today. Good luck to everyone going there. There's a couple of charter flights en route now to Junction as we speak, and of course our interest in the eastern states also continues at Moonee Valley today. We've got the first event this morning at 10 after 10. It's Moir Stakes Day there with a number of other feature events. And up north at Randwick in Sydney today with race 1 at 9:50. A big day there with the Chelmsford, the Tramway, the Furious Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies and the Concord Stakes as well. So there's no shortage, Matt, of action coming up this morning. Let's go through the changes for the Belmont Park meeting, of which there is becoming quite a number with scratchings. The conditions are showery. There is certainly more rain forecast. Whether or not we'll get the same heavy showers that have existed over the last 24 hours remains to be seen. The track, though, is a heavy 8 for the start of the day. And the first event, the MCA Polytrack Plate, goes at 12:14. Early start, early finish with a footy on at Optus this evening. Scratchings out of race 1, 3 Psalm Time Lucky, 5 Angels Point, 6 Playing Free, and 9 Moonshine Queen. So we're down to 5 and the race dominated by Rock Fest. Race 2, Heat 2 of the Tab Touch Westspeed Platinum Handicap, the Spring Series. And here we take out number 5 in Coondle. Race 2, number 5. Third event, the Morley Growers Market Handicap is clear. Race 4 on the card will be the Key Clean over 2,200. Take out number 2, Longines. Race 4, number 2. The Glenroy Chaff Handicap is the 5th event for the day, and Nev Parnham's not going there with the mare Yarra Lee. She's out. Race 5 at number 7. Yarra Lee is scratching in the 5th. Race 6 is the WA Racehorse Owners Association Handicap Warroa over the 1,200. Number 3, B. Bardot, is out there and was right in the market, about a $4 chance there before the money came for Great Emotion. So they've scratched B. Bardot. Race 7, the Swan Draft, Farnley Stakes. And number 5 is out, Vast Art. Race 7, number 5. And in the final race for the day, the Perth Racing now hiring casual staff handicap. Plenty of opportunities there for those looking for work through the spring and the summer on a Saturday at Perth Racing, hiring plenty of casuals. And number 11, Bayara, comes out there, race 8, number 11. Matt, changes for the day at Belmont Park, starting on a heavy 8. We'll start our look at the meeting right after this break on Inside Running this morning. Great to have your company.
Welcome back to Inside Running for Winning Rupert, standing at Geisel Park Stud for $6,600.
Nice to share the Saturday morning, albeit it's a very wet one here in the Perth metropolitan area. 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. We start the day at Belmont at 14 after 12 on this heavy 8 circuit, and more showers expected there. Short-priced favourite, Matt. Race number 1, not a lot of value there, but a horse that really kicked off his career in a blaze of glory. Rockfest comes straight here to hopefully deliver another victory for the Pierce brothers. Most will be hoping that that is the case. He looks exciting.
$1.40 at the moment with Tab Touch. Champagne Crusader is at 6. Artistry in Motion $3.70. Then we go down to Bridgeport at 20 and at Miss Jamada at 71.
Okay, Diggs, we'll get your view on Rockfest.
Very impressive. Trial was good. Went there on a day when it was only a small field, but he was going to win a long way from home. CJP was very, very confident. When he let down, Scott, he let down like a horse who basically the wraps internally and back at home had been super strong, and they were vindicated.
Well, Clint's commentary post-race was that the only way he was getting beat is if he got held up. So today he draws barrier number 3, and the only thing I'd imagine he'll be doing is staying off the fence, keeping him in clear galloping room, and then starting to present him from about the, say, 500-metre marker and starting to wind up into it, because realistically, the way this race looks on paper, his main danger will amble to the front in Artistry in Motion. We all know how very good Brad Parnham is at rating these horses and trying to pinch it on straightening, and that's the only way, realistically, I would imagine that Rockfest gets rolled here, is if Brad Parnham's able to steal the race on Artistry in Motion.
Are we underestimating Artistry in Motion here? Because it was a really solid debut at 1,200 metres. Drew 12 of 12 that day. Had to do it from an outside gate. Beaten 3 lengths to Country God, who is a bit of a benchmark with my Authoritar through the back end of spring. And then, of course, went down there to his home track at Bunbury and went straight to 1,400. led and absolutely bolted in and did exactly what was required of the horse that day.
Well, that debut performance was outrageously good. He was no better than sort of 4 and 5 deep at one stage, and then he lost touch with them, and then he came again in the last 200.
Yeah.
Look, if you're multiing up Rockfest through whatever else you're interested in through the day, I think that at some stage Brad Parnham will give some cheek, more than just cheek, on Artistry in Motion.
He's a nice build of a 3-year-old too.
He's a nice horse, and his 2 runs to date have been excellent. So there's no knock there. He just might be running into one who
could be exceptional.
Yeah, could be really good. Really, really good. So we'll get more of a gauge on Rockfest's talent levels today, but off a small sample size, you'd suggest they're pretty good.
They do look to be the 2, don't they, here to run 1-2? Are they a lock?
I think so. 1 from 4. And then by process of elimination, 2 Champagne Crusader, but I think he's a couple of cogs below that pair, and 7 Bridgeport, hoping that a bit of headgear and an experience on race day can see him come on quite quickly. 1, 4, 2, 7, but I expect these 2 might actually clear out from the rest.
Okay. 1, 2, 4, 7 for me. I thought maybe Champagne Crusader with William going on could run second to a Rockfest. 1, 2, 4, 7.
Yes, W. Pike back in the saddle this afternoon after his recent trip away to Great Britain, and good to have him back in action as well. I'm 1 from 4, Scott, like you, exactly the same. Champagne Crusader. I know Bridgeport was awfully disappointing first up, but they hold a far better view of the horse than what he showed on that occasion. He's still very raw, and he has stacks to learn, but hopefully the Winker application today can get Bridgeport to produce a bit better performance. So he goes into the 4th box for mine as well. 1, 4, 2 and 7. Matt?
So Digby with 1 to beat 2, 4, 7, and then we bracket Mac and Scott with 1, 4, 2, 7 in race number 1. For Tab Touch at $12.49, West Speed Platinum Handicap with 5 out. On Patrol is at $3.40, $7 Corn Cob. Success Play at 17 into $6.50 Bar Time. Down to Talk Away, who's into $4.80. Right to Silence now at $4.20. Then Fortune's Luck 13 and at Belgenie at $23.
Scotty, how do you see this unfolding? There appears to be a nice level of pace in the event. Now, we've got a few that are on the backup on the 7 days. We've got On Patrol, Corn Cob, Talk Away, returning after competing last Saturday, and you've got Bar Time, who races first up this afternoon without a lot of historical first up form, but certainly being by universal ruler, will love these conditions.
Well, you're really hopeful if you're Team Bar Time, which I am in this race, that he can reproduce that run 3 starts ago at Pinjarra. It was a heavy 9 that day, and the money came for him, and he never looked like losing. He then went to a 1400 grad, finished a length and a half off Fancy Red in a solid performance, and then no idea what went wrong. Last start, he was the first horse beaten. But 56 days later, I know he's got no numerical form, but he's a winner at Geraldton off 58 days. Now, a gap like that doesn't register in the first up column. So he actually has proven previously that he can go well off that sort of 6 to 9 week break.
Brett Pope surely would have woke up this morning grinning like a Cheshire cat with the rain that's been around and the track downgraded to a heavy 8.
Well, after the success he's enjoyed at the end of the Northwest season, he'd be waking up with a fair tan as well. I think Bar Time can win this. So each way for me, on top, straight to the front, a wet tracker. 4 Bar Time, 6 Talk Away. The form through Snow God last week, I think, for West Speed Platinum and Grey will prove very, very strong. Now, there were big beaten margins in behind, so it was 6 lengths adrift that Talk Away was, but I still think that she'll be one of the market movers. 1 On Patrol, consistent type, but doesn't win out of turn, and probably not the easiest horse to ride either. They like to ride him ugly, keep him 3 deep and outside horses.
Rarely ridden by an apprentice.
Not an easy task today for Chanel Cooper, drawn barrier 2. He could well find himself back along the fence line. And 7 Right to Silence, Willie Pike goes on, gets out to 1300 and tracks up every move of Bar Time. 4, 6, 1, 7, but in a pay 1, 2, 3, I'm quite happy to be aboard Bar Time each way.
Fair enough then. Diggs, in regards to On Patrol,
yeah,
I think it's fair to say this looks, at least on paper, to be a little bit weaker than some of the company that he's been running into and against lately.
Yeah, I agree with that, Darren. And he, he's coming out of 60 plus, graduation company into this, and he drops to, 57 kilos after the claim of Chanel. I thought he was actually really well placed. And I take Scott's point. He's probably not the easiest horse to ride.
He just can't afford to get held up. That's his issue.
No, but Chanel's riding in particular good form, so I was happy to go that way. 1, On Patrol. He is racing consistently, so in this company, he's well and truly capable of winning. At 6, Talk Away, for the reasons that Scott outlined. 2, Corn Cob. Comes out of that run last week behind Scully, only beaten a length and a half, and 7, Right to Silence. 1, 6, 2 and 7.
I'm with you. I'm with On Patrol. I thought that if even luck went Chanel Cooper's way in this race here, coming back to this type of race with no doubt a bit of a contest for the front. Bar Time's quick. Right to Silence likes to roll forward too and doesn't mind these type of conditions either. So that will be in its favour. But I did land on Patrol with the form that he's been in. He's consistent, doesn't win out of turn, Scott, as you've correctly identified. I've got it ahead of Bar Time like yourself. Right to Silence, I thought the conditions certainly would suit, but Corn Cob worried me because on wet tracks, normally, he's not that adept. So whilst I do think that he'll be competitive in the race, it does worry me here with the deteriorating track conditions. So I'm going to mark them 1, On Patrol, ahead of 4, 7 and 2. And I've just lowered Talk Away down the list a little bit there, Matty.
Scott's with 4, Bar Time, 6, 1, 7. Digby with 1, On Patrol, 6, 2 and 7. And Darren is 1, On Patrol, 4, 7 and 2. That's race 2. Now to race number 3. And it's at 124, Morley Growers Market Handicap. Over 1,000 metres, and Silver Eye, 6.50 out to 9.50, back to $9 currently. Pin Deep is 12 into 11, $2.30 to $2 Immortal Bliss. Canny Rocks at 21, $4.60 into 3.80 for 6-inch heels. Under Influence 9.50, 17 for Empress of India, and Costa Zeta is at 15.
Diggs, we touched upon Immortal Bliss in our preview of the day's action there, and this is the 4-year-old that has come from the east to join Grant and Delana Williams' yard. Willie back in time to continue his connection with this 4-year-old. Ultra impressive on debut. Beat Snow God last start. Well, we know that's a good form line there, but hasn't been on a heavy track. Form on soft 5 ground's been all right, undefeated here, but now gets onto a heavy 8.
That he does. I think he'll relish it, Darren. To be fair, he's by I Am Immortal, who's a son of Vinny. We know that the Invincible Spirit sideline, they get through it, and he's out of a Your Song mare. Now, Your Song's Group 1 win was on a bog up there in Queensland in the winter, so I don't have any issues with him getting through the ground.
Okay, good. Happy to hear that there too. That's a well-identified breeding aspect to his prospects.
No idea what any of that means, but I think
no,
you win.
It won't matter anything to you, but to him, it means a lot.
I'm just a breeding nuffy.
He's a nuffy. Correct.
I'm a nuffy.
Your thoughts, Scotty?
Well, the fact that he was able to gun down Snow God gets plunged last week and wins. Scully was back in 4th, gets plunged and wins. The form lines are just there right in front of your face, and his 2 runs and even his trial in WA, he's just looked to have gears. When he starts to hit that top speed, he really does power through the line.
I haven't seen him in person, this horse. You two gentlemen have. But he just looks like big girth, big show. He looks like a big, powerful, sprinting
He's a
type.
muscle and bone horse.
Yeah,
He really is.
He's just a perfect shape of a sprinter.
Yep.
In 4 legs.
He's not a horse watcher.
No,
You're asking the wrong bloke.
No, but he seems that not only does he have 4 legs, they work really well.
Everything you expect of Scotty, just disregard completely. Just go back to the stats.
It's a long morning.
He's probably, take aside Joker's Grin, for example, since we've realigned that Belmont Park shoot, he's probably the most impressive off-speed winner that I've seen.
Lovely turn
what he
of
produced
foot.
last start.
This could be the springboard, I think today to something a little bit better through the spring. Diggs?
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think he's destined to get to open company. And look, you only have to go back to that run. I know we've touched on it a couple of times. Not the Tobin, when he was 11th or 13th behind Reserve Bank. It was the Redelva the start prior. He was beaten 3 lengths behind Reserve Bank, who won I think it was a Goodwood, Group 1 winner. So the form lines are there. He's clearly relishing being trained over here and perhaps just coming back a peg or two in class. But he'll settle rearward, but he's got a big motor, and I think he can gun them down again.
Let's have a look at some of the opposition there to him. We'll start with Pin Deep, first of all, who is normally pretty good fresh, and the trial was good.
Was good. Good to see Boots like Bruce back at the trials as well.
Correct. He will resume, I think, at this stage next week in the Necropolis.
Great to see him back in action there, the Bolton and Newmarket Stakes winner.
He'd be a nice golden saddle horse.
I believe he would be.
Boots like Bruce.
I agree.
But Pin Deep's trial was good, goes well fresh, heavy track winner, drawn low. He ticks plenty of boxes.
Okay, Canny rocks at longer odds, bar plates coming off there, but one of those consistent horses that the market generally doesn't give too much regard to, but he always runs under the radar, Diggs.
Yeah, he does. I thought it was a decent little race, to be brutally honest. You've got Silver Eye resuming, Pin Deep resuming, Immortal Bliss.
6-inch heels.
6-inch heels is good. Comes out of that Boots Like Bruce trial, so she'll jump on the bunny, you would think. She'll be better at 12, but this is a good start point for her. I was with Under Influence last start. I thought he was very, very good. Map's a bit sticky today. It's a decent race.
Yeah, I think it is too. 6-inch heels probably grabs me to some degree. She needed that trial quite clearly. It was in the Boots Like Bruce trial there, but she's a lovely mare and she's got a 50% winning strike rate. She's missed a place only twice in 8 runs so far. I don't think she's met a horse of Immortal Bliss's ability at this stage. So I think that she's a top 4 contender. Empress of India was under pressure, sort of chasing there. They all were that day, and I don't think really she saw that much daylight. So I wouldn't be, sacking her on that unplaced effort last start because she was less than 2 from Matty Girl prior to that at Pinjarra. Costa's Eater's second up today. He goes okay there, second up. So there's a few. I think what you said, Diggs, is right. There is a bit of depth in the race, albeit it's headed by a horse who could conceivably make this a winning hat-trick.
Agree. Yep, 3 on top for me with an asterisk alongside his name, that being Immortal Bliss. 5 6-inch heels, good to see her back. 6 Under Influence, and 1, I just went the way of Silver Eye. 3, 5, 6 and 1.
Okay, Immortal Bliss for you.
3, 2, 4, 5. 3 Immortal Bliss, but I'm not backing him because I don't like those back markers at Belmont over 1,000. 2 Pin Deep, thought he was a better trial than 6-inch heels. 4 Canny Rock because he can burn across, and 5 6-inch heels. Maybe 1,000 metres is just a little bit on the sharper side for her. 3, 2, 4, 5.
Okay, yeah, and I think that probably is the case with Under Influence, maybe 11 or 1,200 from where he settles in his races under these conditions today. It's hard to tell. But 3 for me, I'm with you as well, Diggs and Scott. I think that this is the best bet for the day, Immortal Bliss. To beat 2 Pin Deep, I'll try and catch him fresh. 7 Empress of India, I'm forgiving. And 5 6-inch heels to improve out of that barrier trial. 3, 2, 7 and 5. But it's a best Immortal Bliss in race number 3.
And that's Scott's tip as well. 3, 2, 4, 5, along with Digby. 3, 5, 6 and 1. And Darren is 3 to beat 2, 7 and 5. It is now 29 after 8. We'll pause for the moment and look at the next 3 in a soon.
Welcome back to Inside Running for Winning Rupert, standing at Geisel Park Stud for $6,600.
Okay, let's have a look at race number 4 on the card as we hit 28 minutes to 9 o'clock on this Saturday. The Key Clean Handicap, it's over 2,200 metres. It might feel longer to some of these. Longines has come out, Matt, the market in this particular race. It looks even enough and they really win out of turn.
I Love Your Smile is now at $4.80. Be Awesome 14. Mystical Man into $4.60. 20 for Ray. El Giro Demondo $2.80 from $3.50. Wicked Cool 26. 16 Beats a War. 19 Desert Edge. Hot Like Chili 20. 11 into $8.50. Olden.
Okay. It's an interesting one, this, Scotty. We'll get your view first of all. Longines was around that $5.56 mark, I think, there, and it's come out. But whilst the money has now come for Mystical Man, $8 into $4.60, and also Olden with a bit of specking, no doubt, because of these track conditions here. El Giro del Mondo is the form horse going for 3 in a line. I did say they don't win out of turn, but this horse has proven that to be probably a misnomer. But 280, just a little on the slide in the market.
It was definitely tougher, this, than what she's been beating on. But you can see her progression right in front of your eyes, weights-wise. 3 starts ago, she was beaten by Be Awesome by a head. Be Awesome today gets 4 kilos on her for beating her home, and yet the market's going to have one as the favourite and the other pretty much write your own ticket.
26 to 14.
So, look, these staying races are tough. You throw in the conditions and they get tougher.
Yeah, they do indeed.
But
they do indeed.
The whole way through this preparation, I've been a follower of Mystical Man. I think he's going really well.
Agree.
That the trial behind Perfect Chant was, by his standards, as an 8-year-old stayer, it was elite.
It was indeed. Look, he's crying out for this trip. There's no doubt, Scotty.
Yeah, on a grinding, heavy 8, heavy 9 staying event, I just thought Mystical Man might be able to be last man standing. 6, Il Giro del Mondo. It's weaker form than what she brings here, but it's winning form, and she's travelling really well for Sean O'Donnell. 7, Wicked Cool. Every now and then, especially at staying races, you get a little feeling for one, and you might not be able to quite quantify why. But I just watching a few of the replays recently, I think Wicked Cool's going okay on the fibre sand, and Alex Hearn on a wet track can really put him into the race. And 1, I Love Your Smile. Nice placement here. This is so much weaker than almost anything she's seen over the last 12 months. 4, 6, 7 and 1, but look, not a race that's going to get me for much.
No, look, it's barely a drought at the moment with our weather, but it has been for some of these horses going around. They haven't seen the winners list in the case of I Love Your Smile, 609 days, 478 Mystical Man, but I think he's building. Wicked Cool, 758, Beats of War, 539, and then go right down to Walden, who is a wet tracker, 1134. So how much confidence does that instill into you, Digby Beacham?
Oh, not much. One thing with Il Giro del Mondo, she's absolutely flying, isn't she? She's really going particularly well.
Loves the ground.
Loves the ground. Ticked that heavy box last start. Respectfully, though, I just went looking for a little bit more value, a bit more meat on the bone, as opposed to the mid to high 2s with the on offer about her, given she is coming out of, midweek staying company, and I settled on I Love Your Smile. The return was very good behind Triple the Chant. Now, that's the same race as Mystical Man, and she's able to, with the claim of Chanel, meet Mystical Man 3 kilos better. Now we talk about apprentices on back markers and the like. I get that, but Chanel's probably been trained up and educated how to ride patiently, more so than some of the other apprentices, given she's out of Grant and Alana's care. So I thought off what we saw first up from this mare, she could go there today and be very competitive. So 1 on top, I Love Your Smile, from 4, Mystical Man, 6, Il Giro del Mondo, and 11, Olden, clearly the beneficiary of the overnight rain. 1, 4, 6 and 11.
Yeah, I wasn't that confident there, but I thought that Il Giro del Mondo, racing well, shooting for these 3 in a line, hat-trick of wins, drops a half a click, good draw, form stable, jockey combination. Ticked enough of the boxes there, maybe. Winning form, good form. To beat 4, Mystical Man, I do concur with you, Scott, in regards to Molly Clark's gelding. We'd love to see this horse win for Molly. She's a devotee of Mystical Man. She loves the horse to pieces. Be great to see him win one in town. He is screaming out for the extra journey, and he's done everything right so far. I went down for a bit of a smoky backmarker mare, but I've got a funny feeling. You talk about getting a feeling for horses, because her last couple of runs have been okay, giving them a start. Hot like chili, if they do, burn up a little bit or they buckle to the pressure, it's one that could keep coming. And underneath of it, 11 Olden, simply because Digby, as you correctly pointed out, it will relish these conditions. So 6, 4, 10 and 11, we've tried to at least dig through the race and try and find a bit of value there amongst those selections, Matt.
Scott's 4, 6, 7, 1. Digby 1, 4, 6, 11. Darren has 6, 4, 10 and 11. Race 5 for Glenroy Chaff over 1,200 at 239 with 7 the scratching. Super Session is at $12. Stormageddon 16. Son of the Boss 15. Rissoles is now at $6.50 into $3.60. My Hidden Universe into $9.50. Our Rocky Bay down to Deferred, who's now $4.20, along with King Advisor as well, in from $8 to $4.20.
Scotty, you said it earlier. Pace, pace, pace. King Advisor, Super Session, My Hidden Universe. Our Rocky Bay probably building. Son of the Boss has got a bit of toe as well. They're going to go. Are we going to look for one sitting off them, maybe?
Well, hopefully not for me. I'm tipping the leader. I thought that King Adviso could cross My Hidden Universe in the first couple of strides, and from then it becomes interesting just to watch what Brandon Louis does, because we know My Hidden Universe is quite a big, clunky galloper. He likes room to move, and so being crossed from barrier number 1 is far from ideal for him. So I'm interested to see whether Brandon Louis tries to muster and then pop off to the breeze so that he's got clear air, or whether he gets pocketed, because if he's pocketed leaders back, it probably becomes a little bit tricky for him. But for King Adviso, this preparation, last campaign, we were sort of making fun of him because he would roll into the corner and look like he was going to win by 5, and then he'd just pop, and he'd put up the white flag and it'd be done with 100 metres to go. This time in, he's actually running right through the line.
Yeah, he is.
Even last start, he looked like he was going to be the King Adviso of old.
They've got him right.
But he fought on really well.
Yep.
And there are plenty of people today, and good judges too, tipping Desert Nymph in the Farnley. So King Adviso was only ahead off Desert Nymph and Schmoove Mover, and had Want a Winner to the outside as well. I think it's a good form reference race. So for me, he went up $8, and that's all chewed up now. He's into sort of the $4 range. But I think King Adviso's in front for a long way.
Bit of pressure there. Look, it certainly is worth noting, I think, the way that he's going at the moment, and clearly, as what Chris Gangemi has said post-race in those interviews when he has got the job done, they're so happy with him. He really has come up this preparation, so it's hard to find fault in his form. Could it be, Diggs, that there is a horse, as I mentioned to Scotty there, with that last crack? I'm coming back to this mare Deferred. Just couldn't get a real crack at them last start.
No.
Ready to peak third run in with the heavy 8 conditions. Will handle it. Probably feel like a 1300, which I don't mind at all. But I just felt that maybe this was the race here if they do go helter-skelter in front.
Yeah, look, I lent that way as well. She's clearly here on the spin, having been untested at a key stage last week when she had 1 or 2 just come back in a lap, and Braden Garth had nowhere to go, and she picked up quite well.
It did hit the line hard when she did eventually see some room.
Yeah, she did. No, she did. And she, again, she's a duck. She'll really relish these conditions today. She's got a good gait. That speed will be quite frenetic early doors. She's capable of being probably 1 by 2, something like that in the moving line, and if she's close enough, I think she can strike. Good race though, really competitive little race. But I went 8 Deferred, from 5 My Hidden Universe, 4 Rissoles. Loved the trial. I thought there was plenty there under the hood for Chris. Joey rides today. She's a watch. And 9 King Adviso, your leader. 8, 5, 4 and 9.
Okay, yeah, very similar to you, Diggs. Scotty?
Yeah, I'm the same 4, just in the pretty much opposite order. 9 for me, King Adviso, wanted each way. It's no longer there. 5 My Hidden Universe, 8 Deferred, and 4 Rissoles.
Okay, I'm 8 Deferred, over 5 My Hidden Universe. Handles these conditions so far on the soft, hasn't been to a heavy, but it's a universal ruler, and if he does so well on the soft, there's no issue here. Thought he might have been a little bit revy in the trial, Diggs, but never let go.
No.
So I'm happy to see him back there, with that bit of freshness on his side. King Adviso, clearly. And I will include, because he can go well first up fresh. He's not a winner, but he's certainly competitive, and that Super Session had a bit of value in there. So 8, 5, 9 and 1, but I like the race. I think it's a beauty. Race number 5, which is the first leg of the quaddie. Matt?
9 from Scott, 5, 8, 4. Digby with 8 to beat 5, 4, 9. And Darren is 8 to beat 5, 9 and 1. The 6th race, it is at 3:15, WA Racehorse Owners Association Handicap over 1200, minus number 3. Gage Roads at 12. 380 out to 7. Terratif now 6. Speak to Me's at 26. $11 from 18. Mrs. Spree. God's Gates 14 into 750. Ain't So Bad, 550 now 340. Jellican Run 19 into 320 from 8. Great Emotion, and Just Adora Bell is at 18.
Okay, well, this is the money horse, Scott Digby. Great Emotion, coming off a recent trial win, went to the paddock a winner. Lightly raced mare, but gee, there's a real air of confidence from punters about this Written Tycoon mare's prospects first up.
Lightly raced 4-year-old returning, powerful strike rate yard, drawn to get a soft run.
3 back the fence, did you think?
3 back the fence,
3 back
probably
the fence.
suits her too.
Yeah.
Good point-to-point acceleration.
Yeah.
I can understand the popularity for her, but I probably didn't see it being quite so much.
I can't understand the negativity towards Terratif. She'll probably require a good ride from Chanel and an element of good luck from the draw. But it's a victory over Snow God. Very good. Second up on a heavy 8 to Spectacular Park. Then ran second to Cool Memory, who's second favourite for the Farnley today.
It is amazing.
What's wrong with her for?
She's each way.
She lost a leg?
$6 and $2.05.
Incredible. Diggs?
I thought much like we were talking about the pace of the previous race. I didn't think there was a lot here. And I thought maybe Ain't So Bad could find the top. Now, she slipped out of the gates the other day, and from there over 1,000 metres, she was always up against it. But I'm expecting her today to fire to the top, and with the benefit of that run under her belt, out to 1,200 metres, she is putting her toes into this ground for the first time, but the breed normally handled okay. So I thought she could lead from the outset.
Diggs, is she better than being a nice provincial mare?
Well, we'll find out today. I think, look, you go back to that run on the 18th of January. She was beaten 2 3/4 behind Lon's Delight. She ran 5th. She was at the end of her campaign on that occasion. I think she's still got a shot or two to fire in and around this grade.
Okay. What's your opinion of it, Scotty? Ain't So Bad. I sort of rate her as a really nice level, top-level provincial mare. Does that sort of wash on over into Saturday company or not?
I think it does, at least at graduation level. Whether she can then make the next step to, say, 66, 72, we'll wait and see. But I'm confident she's good enough to win this. And I think the key will be getting her out of the machine today, because once she didn't step under the 59, got back over 1,000, that was race over.
Yep.
Ain't So Bad for me. I'm going to follow up. 9, the Money Horse, Great Emotion. Playing devil's advocate, she broke her maiden on a heavy, but the runner-up and the third horse are both still maidens quite a long time later. And Rainline was fair, Class 1, Class 3 midweek.
Yeah, just fair. 2,
Terratif. I definitely see where you're coming from, Mac. I didn't see a world in which Terratif got out to each way. And 5, Miss Esprit. Well, if she can get through
Did she win?
That last start, then she can get through anything.
Apparently it was a good win.
7, 9, 2 and 5.
If only we saw it. Diggs.
7, 9, 2 and 5 for myself as well. Same as Scott, same order, same horses. 7, 9, 2, 5.
Okay, yeah. She was the one that won in that monsoonal downpour that no one really saw, including the broadcaster. 2, Terratif for me. I just think at $6, whilst it might need a little bit of luck, the mare from the draw, Chanel Cooper is a very talented rider. And I do agree with you in regards to her ability to be able to work out and judge races back when riding in the field and picking runs. She has got that element to her riding talent, and I think that'll stand her in pretty good stead here on this mare, who she knows well. I'm 2. I went 9, following the money trail clearly. Great Emotion. I'm surprised by it, but when they hit them like this, they invariably go very close. 7, Ain't So Bad, and I'll throw in another roughie. Graham Ballantyne's horses on these sort of days when they're wet. How often do you see them run into the placing, Scotty?
Same as the Fish, normally picks one up.
Yep. Jelly Can Run. Just include it at longer odds in the mix, around $19. It's more or less the place leg in the exotics there that I think you can throw in there and maybe include. So 2, 9, 7 and 8 to race 6, Matt.
Bracket Scott and Diggers, 7, 9, 2 and 5. Mac's gone 2, Terratif to beat 9, 7 and 8. 13 minutes to 9. The last few races soon.
Welcome back to Inside Running for Winning Rupert, standing at Geisel Park Stud for $6,600.
That was not Digby Beacham. Only after a few Swanee D's he might sound a bit like that. It's never too wet nor cold to enjoy a swan draft, is there?
Exactly right. We've got the Swan Draft Farnley Stakes listed level at 1,400 metres, Matt.
All right, thank you. Caramundi is at $20, $9.50.
Well, we just changed it up a little bit there, mate.
Saloon Bar and Fluoro Nero at $3 from $3.30. 16 Starry Heights. Cool Memory at $3.40 from $5. $7.50 and from $10 Desert Nymph. Captain Chaos 14 into $9.50. Rockanori at $21. 11 into $9 for Russian to the Bar.
Back in action this afternoon. Fluoro Neuro, the $3 favourite in the Farnley Stakes. Well, as we touched upon here, best known bridesmaid in WA. Seen a few. 29 starts, 11 seconds. They include being runner-up in the Idyllic Prince, the Newmarket, the Good Friday Stakes, the Old Comrade and the Grandstand Cup as well. Scotty, is there a Farnley in Fluoro Neuro?
Well, that's the thing. He's now run second at his last 5 outings. So there will be lots of people, I'm one of them, saying that he's knocking on the door and it's ready to open.
Yes.
But I have heard a few people say, and probably rightly so, is he just a chaser?
Could be. Could well be.
It's pretty good last start, wasn't it?
He was very good.
You know, weight for age, chasing on a proven weight for age horse on a day when leaders were being targeted by the market. Fanta was.
Well, the leader's been targeted by the market in this race as well.
Yeah, exactly right.
Willie's on board today. He hasn't ridden Fluoro Neuro for a little while. He could have a big impact to make a difference there. And I think getting to 1400 third up off the foundation building runs to Fanta in the Newmarket, the Idyllic Prince, stack him in pretty good stead. The one there that you mentioned earlier, Desert Nymph, and with these conditions, I mean, this is uncharted waters for this mare and trainer Michelle Hagley, stepping into a black type race for the very first time. But, gee, I mean, overall, her runs this preparation have all been terrific, and she was impressive last start, beating a smart one in Smooth Mover.
Diggs, you're a Inglis online man. She was in the online sale not that long ago, wasn't she?
I think so, yes.
She was thrown in there.
Yep.
Good move to hold on.
Yeah, exactly
She's
right.
now won a 72 plus and could pick up some black top
And
today.
haven't we seen the Rommels appreciate the wet tracks throughout the winter, don't they? They really do grow a leg.
Yeah, they really are. Absolutely. I'd love to see her step right up here and go to another level.
She was awesome last start.
Yeah.
From where she won from on a day where they were struggling to make that much ground on what's probably not her absolute preferred surface, it was an improving soft 5.
Gets onto a minimum of 54 today, of course, going into the Stakes company. I'd love to see her run a crackerjack race here for Michelle Hagley. She's done a great job with this mare. She's not an easy mare from all accounts. She's got some real quirks, and she's a difficult one to train. Got a mind of her own, but she's got ability, and she'll love these conditions this afternoon. The other one here is Saloon Bar. On his day, Digby, he can deliver. He does go better second up. Won this race last year on a soft 6 after being placed in the Bolton and the Newmarket. The comment that Steve Parnham made, I'm not sure, was it with us on Wednesday morning?
I know the one you mentioned.
He said, if things don't go his way, he's at a sook.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He had a bit of sook at him first up, I thought.
Yeah, I was with him, and clearly I was way off the mark. The trial leading in I thought was fair, but I thought, no, I'll back the horse's talent levels in. But now he runs into a heavy. Is he going to like that? I went looking for a horse. Talking of hasn't won for a while. Yeah. Captain Chaos. He's going really, really well. Yeah. Now, it has been
1183
since 1941 since he won a race, but I think Pete's got him going particularly well. Now, disregard that run in the Southwest Autumn Cup over the 2,200 metres on a heavy you-know-what. But
you know when his last win was? It was in the Hyperion Stakes of 2022. That's his last victory.
There you go. But he's run behind Sensational, fresh, really good, on a heavy, and then he backed it up again, beaten only ahead by Sensational over the 1,600. So back to 14 today, each way in a race where he's probably going to settle in front of Fluoro. Questions on Saloon Bar. Starry Heights probably needs further. Desert Nymph, foray into this grade. How will she handle it? I thought maybe Captain was the way to go.
He's a family horse for the Giadrescos these days, Captain Chaos, but you'd love to see him return to the winners list because they've persevered with him, and he was a really good horse back in his day. His only win at 1,400, Scotty, was 4 years ago. So we dig deeper there. But you know what? He's at value, and it's a heavy track kind of a day. I went 3 Fluoro Neuro ahead of number 7 Desert Nymph, Saloon Bar, and I did put Captain Chaos in for 4th.
I have an option for Fluoro Neuro that probably hasn't got a lot of airtime. They could go forward on him. They could ride him like the best horse and sit in the breeze.
Breezy, yep.
They don't.
Who leads? Cool
obviously,
Memory?
if you get to this part of the day and the fence is off and they're charging down the centre, well, you just go back and use his turn of foot.
Yeah.
But if they get a scenario where you're 6 races in and the money continues for Cool Memory because nothing's making any ground, this race doesn't have a breeze horse. So they could still go forward. But
So Brad Parnham, a master tactician in front there with Cool Memory, should lead comfortably. A first attempt in this class, 340. Tab touch, is that unders? I think it's way unders.
I think it's rock bottom. 3 for me, Fluoro Neuro. He's dropping weight out of a weight for age. He's been excellent at his last 5. 6, Cool Memory, because he leads with no weight. 7, Desert Nymph, because she swims. And Rockanori.
Yep.
He meets Fluoro Neuro 3 kilos better from the idyllic Prince, should I say, and wasn't that far behind him and wasn't that bad. No. 3, 6, 7 and 9.
An interesting Farnley, Diggs.
Yeah, it is. 8, 3, 7, 6 for I. Captain Chaos from 3, Fluoro Neuro, 7, Desert Nymph and 6, Cool Memory, your leader. 8, 3, 7, 6.
So Scott is with Fluoro Neuro, number 3, 6, 7 and 9. Repeat, Diggers 8, Captain Chaos 3, 7 and 6. Darren's with 3, Fluoro Neuro 7, 2, 8. And race 8, it's at 4:25. Perth Racing now hiring casual staff. Handicap 1,600 metres, 11 out. Autumn Rebel out to 7. Into 5, Street Band, Classic Rogue 34. 5 now, 480 for Hostile Talk. Kelvinators at 16. 71, Magic Whistle. So War 23. Above the Peg 19. Lombardina 13. $10 now, Odinaka. Down to Mumbatembu 23. 480 into 4, Twilight Tale. Gratias Dio 34.
Probably saved the toughest for last, did they, Diggs?
Yeah, they did. It's a very competitive affair, this one. I found it hard to decipher, to be brutally honest. I thought it was a really, really tough way to finish. What do we do with Twilight Tale? Off the back of that first run, I was keen on her that day.
Needs to lift.
I'm still 50-50 on the trial. And we've talked about it before the first up run. It was going to divide opinions.
You might be right. You might be right on reflection.
I like the fact that she gets to a mile today, but to be fair, I would have liked to have perhaps seen her hit the line a bit better than what she did.
I thought she was plain, but there again, I mean, the horse that won the race is second favourite for Farnley, which I'm having a bit of trouble grasping, quite frankly. But I just thought she was underwhelming and needs to come forward. And, you know, whether or not the ground will be better out wider at this time of the day, let's say it is. And maybe she can come forward, but she needs to. I was like you, Digby. I wasn't really confident. I don't have a big handle on the race. I'm going to apply the 7-day theory and go Street Band, who's, I think, building well enough off those runs. 4th run in the prep. Placed at 3 of the 4. One's Maddie Girl. The others at 1,400, 3rd up Objectify, and then last start Arcadia Knight, who's in the zone. So I thought from the softish draw and the claim of Chanel Cooper here in the last from a 72 back to a 66, maybe go Street Band.
Same. I actually thought the each-way price about Street Band was really quite attractive today. 5th up into the campaign, 472s, now back to a 66 off the 7-day spin. Kelvinator leads on his ear, and other than that, there's not much pace, so Street Band should be close handy and have a tactical advantage over all rivals. 2, Street Band. 1, Autumn Rebel. Talk about use of the 3 kilo claimers now that they're available on the Saturday. It's perfect for DMAC.
Isn't it just?
This horse is going to carry 2 kilos less, same grade, same distance, same track as a last start winner. 4, Hostile Talk has been savaging the line, and 13, Twilight Tale. Again, you look through the Philly series, Machine Gun Gracie drags it forward, the form lines and the expectation, but in the end she's won a maiden and a Class 1. I just think that Twilight Tale, until I'm proven otherwise, I'm just going to be a little bit cold on her. 2, 1, 4, 13.
Okay, Diggs, the final word in the last.
I'm also keen here, Street Band. Like the fact that Trevor's elected to go here, and I love the claim, I really do. So 2 from 13, Twilight Tale. I'll put her in for second. I want to see her get better and attack the line, hoping she can do that today, because I think she does have some talent. 8 above the peg. I thought I saw something the other day behind Arcadia Knight, albeit it is above the peg, and 1, Autumn Rebel, for the reasons outlined by Scott. 2, 13, 8 and 1.
Yeah, 2 with me. $5 chance for the last in an open affair. Street Band doing everything pretty much right but winning, but gets his opportunity this afternoon to beat 1, Autumn Rebel. low draw, has come up really well. He's a place getter on a heavy 8 first up there at a little silver. And I thought at 1400 he ran particularly well. I think he's set for a good campaign. Hostile Talk goes to the mile for the first time, but finished off really well to cool memory in that 1400. And I'm going to throw Lombardina in if you like Autumn Rebel. Lombardina's getting a couple of kilos for being beaten a length and a half. So it probably gets in there somewhere and going well for new trader Michael Grantham. 2-1-4-9 there to race 8, Matt.
So number 2 is the way to go in the final event. For the minor, 1-4-13 from Scott, 2-13-8-1 Diggers, and 2-1-4-9 from Mac.
It's best bets time. Diggs,
Yeah.
your best bet for the day.
Oh, I thought Immortal Bliss would win again, Darren. I'm not sure what price he is.
Evens.
Now. Evens, is he? Yeah, okay. Yep, I'll take that. Race 3, number 3, Immortal Bliss.
Flip of the coin odds
Yes.
for Immortal Bliss there for you. Your best for the day, Scott.
A couple of each-way plays on a heavy track. Race 2, number 4, Bar Time. Race 8, number 2, Street Band.
Okay, then I've got 2 best bets today. The first is Immortal Bliss, like you, Diggs. Race 3, number 3. I'm going to take $1 for umpire Brent Wallace not to get another game through the final series after last night. Lay for the day.
Wow.
It had to be said.
Race 2, number 7, Right to Silence.
Right, okay.
I'm going to throw 2 out today. Race 3, number 5, 6-inch Heels. Think Immortal Bliss will get her.
Okay.
Race 8, number 13, Twilight Tale. Still not convinced.
I'll go Ain't So Bad. Race 6, number 7 as my lay for the day. Do you have a play for the day, Digby?
Yeah, race 7, number 8, each way, Captain Chaos, around that 950, 280 mark. I'll just have another check now. 950, 280, Captain Chaos, each way is my play.
Fair call. Yours, Scott?
Street Band each way in the last. Race 8, number 2.
Okay, so keeping it nice and simple, I'll go with my best bet, Immortal Bliss, and I'll roll that up into race 5, number 8, Deferred, who I thought might be able to get them if they do go lickety-split there in front. Okay, that's our look at today's Farnley Stakes program. It's going to be an interesting one. It's run in conjunction with the Junction Cup, which today gets underway at 1:42, that meeting. And a full coverage here as well, once again. Tab Radio Racing Sport and also racing.com 7+.
4 minutes past 4, the Cup.
All right,
Yes,
we'll
talking
tune
of
in for that.
Talking of cups, did you have a view tomorrow at
Bulgari Cup
Kalgoorlie?
Day, yes.
I think Ginger Baker's hard to beat.
I would have thought so. He carries the 60 on his ear, doesn't he?
He was 550 earlier during the week. He was
Yeah.
each way. Great race for him on paper.
Yeah, he was terrific the other day.
At weight for age.
Yeah, he was outstanding. Gee, he's been a good horse. So yeah, I thought it's good. It's a good card up there, Kalgoorlie.
Good meeting.
Yeah. So no, best of luck to all concerned at Kalgoorlie.
Okay. The other feature there is the Coolgardie Sprint, Scotty, too. That's a race with a bit of interest in it.
Secret Attraction Eve is what it is.
You need it to win. You want it to win.
A want.
You're praying.
You don't need anything in life, Mac.
You're praying that it wins, aren't you? Secret Attraction, $9 there still.
Dockers win tonight, Digby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
And do you therefore go to the Gabba next week?
Quite possibly.
Okay. You're a devotee.
Imagine if they get rolled. The semi-final will be a Q clash.
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that, but you're right.
Yes,
Yeah,
it will be.
And Gold Coast beat Brisbane last time they
It's
played.
not even in my mindset. Sorry.
They should win.
Gave it no consideration. Yeah, good luck to the Freo Dockers tonight over there, and it sets itself up, for them to progress through to the final series a bit deeper. We'll see how they go. 5 minutes after 9. Great to have shared this part of the Saturday morning with you. We've got an early start. I'll be back just after 12 o'clock with an update, certainly on the track conditions, if there is more rain around the metro area where there has been over the last, what did you say, Scotty, earlier?
34 mils last 24 hours at Belmont.
So it's copped a good old drenching, that is for sure, Belmont Park. Maddie, thanks indeed once again, looking after everything from Tab Touch the Markets. Enjoy the rest of your morning, and hopefully it's a successful day on the punt for all of our listeners, the devotees to Inside Running on this Saturday.
Thanks for listening to Inside Running for Winning Rupert. Find him at geiselpark.com.au.